Hi guys, it's Omega. Happy 4th of July everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful time today with your family and loved ones. Today I chose to stay in. I'm hiding out. Actually, I'm getting much needed rest and relaxation today. So for me, the happy 4th of July comes in being in my craft room, just playing around. So what I'm playing around with today is I'm making some little flowers, and I just want to share this with you all. So what I have is, here are the little flowers that I've made so far. And I made these out of this streamer party paper. I have several colors. And of course, being that this is limited in the size, you have to use a small die. So what I'm using today is the Stampin' Up! Secret Garden framelit dies. That's what I'm using. And what I decided to use today, I'm using this framelit because I like the spiky little petals, and I'm using the leaf die. And so how I make these is I take a length, approximately a yard, of the crepe paper, and then this die, of course, is, I chose it because it's perfect fit. It's a perfect fit on this width of crepe paper. So I'm using my Big Shot to run this through. And I'm going to run it through just a few times just to make sure it cuts through. But you know, crepe paper is simply tissue paper, so I'm just doing that as a precaution to make sure I get the cut all the way through all those layers. So I'm running it through. That's 3-4 times should do it. And then when you're done, I'm going to move this out of the way. Sorry, that's sliding around. And then I have my layers and layers of the little flowers. So these I need to now take a loose and separate. So I'm just using my little pokey thing here to separate the layers. And then another thing about these, the more dense you make your flower, the prettier it is. So this one's going to be pretty dense. And I'm going to pull these layers apart, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I got all my layers pulled apart. It took a minute. So now you begin to stack these layers, just alternating the petals so you don't have them stacked exactly on top of each other. You want to alternate those petal leaves a little bit, but try to keep them at least centered together as you stack them. And that's a little hard to do even with this light tissue paper, but as you can see, you'll be able to get them pretty much centered on top of each other. And so then you have your little stack, and I'm just kind of shuffling to make sure they're centered. And so I have my little foam board here. I'm going to try to get this right in the center with my little pokey thing here. Then I have a little brad that I'm going to put right in the middle. I'm going to use a little yellow one this time. So I'm going to put it on my brad. Open that brad up just to keep it all together. Sorry if I'm out of frame there. So I have them on a brad. So now you can begin to bring those layers to the middle, just crimping them up a little bit towards the middle. Takes a minute. Just bring them up and crimp them. You don't want to wrinkle them too much. I try to keep them straight up towards the middle. Sometimes I get a double layer there, but I think that's okay. Just keep bringing them up towards the middle. Until you have it all together there. And then you can actually start feathering that back out. Fanning it back out. And see, that's where it helps to have a little density there in your flower. So your center is nice and dense. Then what I did with this one, when I first made this one, I took my strawberry slush ink and I dabbed my flower on there, and it got a little too much. I didn't like that effect quite as much. So for this one, this is kind of a peachy color. I don't know how it's coming on over the camera, but it's kind of a peachy color. So what I'm taking is my pumpkin pie, using my sponge just to get a little color on it. And then what I'm going to do is just brush that across there. Just brush it across my flower, back and forth. And it gives a more subtle, light, pretty effect right on the tips or the edges of your flower. Now that's how I did on this yellow one. I sponged that on versus dipping it on the pad. I also did that on this red one here. I'm sorry, on the pink one, I did that in red. Now this one here, I didn't have to ink at all. I think that's beautiful, just the way it is. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a fuchsia color. That's this one. So I got it nice and inked on the edges. I think you can see it, but it's a very soft, nice effect there. And then I took my leaf die and I'm going to cut a leaf out, and I'm not going to use the whole leaf on the flower. Actually, I'm going to cut the leaf out and I'm just going to use the tip of it. In fact, you can use this same leaf about 3 times, making just little back leaves for the flowers. So take my leaf here out of the die. And I'm just going to actually, my little scissor just cut, I think I'll cut it right there. So I'm using the tip of the leaf, and then that will be the leaf behind that flower. And you know, since it's such a petite flower, you don't need a whole lot. But that is what I came up with today, and it's kind of fun making these. It reminds me of a carnation, and using this particular die gives you this effect, and I like this particular effect. Now I have some other flower making things that I just recently got, and of course I do have the Prima flowers, and I have some pre-made flowers, but I actually enjoy the process of making flowers myself. So I have made some out of cardstock before, but I just wanted to share this because first of all, I used my Stampin' Up! Dies, and it was really perfect size for this particular type of flower. And it makes such a happy little flower. I love carnations personally. I like roses too. I think all women like roses. But I like carnations. To me, they're happy flowers. And so using the Secret Garden framelit dies, I used this one along with my Party Streamer crepe paper. And of course you can use the leaf, and you can cut it up into several different little leaves for the backings of your flowers. And that's what you get. I think it's awesome, actually. They make a nice little cute flowers for little projects. You can put them on a little card or a box, a gift, or something like that. And I think it's cute for summer. So that's what I'm working on today. So maybe I'll come back with another video of some more flowers that I'm making. Like I said, I have some other stuff that I haven't tried out yet, so I might give that a shot and come back. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful 4th of July, and so I'll be back later. Bye.